Hi there, my name is Korp and welcome to the 15-minute doodle challenge. The plan is I'm going to show you how easy it is to draw something within 15 minutes, and the challenge is to see if you can draw something similar or better. Let me show you the materials that I'm going to use today. As usual, nice and simple, just a fat pen and a thin pen. So I've got a Sharpie and a 0.2 fine liner. Any combination of a fat pen and a thin pen will do you really nicely though. Okay, let's get on with it then. So I'm using an A4 sketchbook. So nothing too small for our sketchbook, but here we go. Let's start. And today we're going to try and draw a cactus. Okay, so grab your Sharpie first. We're going to go do some details with the Sharpie. Here we go. So right down to the bottom here, let's go and put some rocks that our cactus is going to sit behind. So just start off with a big rock in the middle, then start putting some others either side. But you can see how these are all overlapping each other a little bit, yeah. And then just get a little bit smaller as you get to the sides as well. Now my usual technique is to double line everything I do. I love a wonky line, so let's just go over it. It's not about making the line twice as thick, it's about making the line twice as wonky. So go over all of those lines one more time. Wonky lines, a lot easier to draw and look a lot better as well. We'll come back to those in a little while to add some shading to make them look a little bit more shapely. But for the time being, that's good enough. That's our base. Right. This cactus then is going to grow out from this base. What we're going to do is this centre part of the cactus. So these two lines are going to be quite close together for the time being. But let's go for the centre part of the cactus with a line going up there. See how it just breaks with a couple of little dots dashed and dotted up there to make it a real fine crease. Thick and chunky as it kind of joins back down here into the rocks. That's the first bit we want to do. Keep it nice and squeezed in because the cactus is going to get a little bit wider, and then it's going to have some arms out there as well. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to leave ourselves a little bit of a gap, which is where the face is going to go, in that little gap there, and then we're going to join these two lines with a big upside down U shape quite near the top as well. So let's sort of take a line from there, left a gap, and we're just going to pick it up about there. And this line, again, just pointing towards that one. See how those lines all point towards each other? That's what you want. Dotted and dashed there. Wonky and chunky in the middle. That's the kind of line that we need. That's good. Okay, let's bring this together now. We're going to do those outside bits. This is going to be the full width of the cactus. So watch this. We're going to have a line that starts down here. It's going to go up. It's going to go further and further away until we get to the top, and then it's just going to curl in towards that. You could even start at the top and work your way down to the bottom. Totally up to you on how you do this. But let's go like something like this. That's a nice shape. Let's double line it. Thick and wonky all over the place, especially in those intersections where two lines join each other in a T-junction. Just there, just there, just there. That's called an intersection. So you want to make those bits a little bit thicker. Okay, that was good. We went from bottom to top. Let's go from top to bottom, see if it's any easier. So from there, look. Yeah, I think it's easier going top to bottom. Double line it, nice and wonky. You know, if you're trying to draw something smooth, it gets a little bit stressful. If you're trying to draw something wonky, it gets a little bit more enjoyable because it's easier to draw that way. Awesome, right, that's good. Let's go and throw in some arms. Now, I know these are branches, but I'm going to call them arms because it makes more sense to me. Again, you see how we started the middle part of the cactus with the skinny bit and then did the two fat bits to finish it all off. Let's do the same kind of thing with the arms. So start off with a skinny bit. It's going to look like this. Looks way too skinny for that cactus, yeah? Double line it. Wonky lines are good. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put these extra lines either side. So I quite like starting from the top, so I'm going to start from the top. Just double line that as well. That kind of works for me. Let's do the same kind of thing over on the other side. Now remember, with your lines, you don't have to keep them smooth. Wonky is good. That looks reasonable. Let's go and try one more over on this side. Let's have it a little bit more natural looking. So let's have the arm coming out from the bottom here. Let's go up there. A little bit taller. Round, getting really skinny as we get to the bottom here. You know, it's like an upside down snooker ball in a sock. That's the kind of shape that we're going for. Double line it all. Wonky everywhere. That's grand. Let's go and make it a little bit fatter, this branch. Again with the wonky lines, look, nothing too smooth. Feel free to put like a curvy bit in and then a straight bit. There we go. Just try and get yourself into the habit as well of kind of doing that double line, that double wonky line all the time. That's looking pretty good. Should we, let's put some fingers and thumbs on this character as well, shall we? Just for a bit of a giggle, let's put a little thumb there. Little thumb there, and then we can follow that up with 3 little fingers. Look at that, that looks brilliant. Let's do the same on the other side. So, little thumb on that side first. You see how the thumb kind of curves inwards and then the fingers curve the opposite way. Now what I've just done there, this is exactly why I double line everything. You see that little bit there? I've just went a little bit over the line and kind of came into the arm a little bit. The reason I double line everything is because what you can do is you can just make that line a little bit thicker and it just finishes off, corrects any little tiny mistakes that you might make along the way. Right, this is looking good. Let's stick with our fat pen for the time being. Let's go and jump up and put a little flower on the top of this one's head. So let's go and put a little shape like that right in the center. Double line it. And then we're going to do that shape again, but we're going to underlap it. So we're going to do 2 times over this side, 2 times over this side. Okay, so 1 time like that. Quite a big distance, quite a big gap between them, and then 1 more time a little bit further over, not quite sticking out so far this time. Look, trying to make those flowers look like they're going round, or those petals for that flower look like they're going round. Let's try and do something similar on the other side. Similar is good. You don't want something exactly the same. That's looking nice. Finish that off with a little upside down V shape there, little upside down V shape there. These are the petals on the far side. Awesome stuff. Let's jump into the eyes. So we're going to keep the eyes and the mouth nice and simple on this character. We're going to put a circle in with another circle just there. So that's a circle for the eye, and then the little circle in the top corner. I know circles don't have corners, but you know what I mean. Little circle in that top corner, that's going to be for the reflection. And then what we'll do is we'll just colour the rest in black. Not going to do too much colouring in today. I've learnt my lesson from last week. Let's do another eyeball over there. So, little reflection. Reflection's up in the same corner. This is not mirrored. This is copy and paste. That looks decent. Let's go and throw in a quick mouth. We'll start off with the mouth. We'll do a wide U shape. Then we'll do a thinner U shape. Double line there, of course. Double line everything. And then throw a tongue in. Let's put a tongue in like that. Colour the back of the mouth in black. So a little curve for the tongue. Big tongue if you don't want to do too much colouring in. This will do. Right, we'll come back to our Sharpie a little bit later. Let's go and put some extra bits in with some shade them bits in with our pen. Okay. So here we go. Let's go and start at the bottom here. And work our way up on here. So the kind of thing we're going to do is let's go and put some shadows in. So we're going to outline that shadow. Look, this is where the shadow will live, down the bottom here. Outline it, shade it in by putting in these little lines going top to bottom. Just think about where the light source is coming from, so where the shadows will live as a result. Don't think about it too much. Just chuck them in roughly what you think is going to be the right place. That looks nice. We can also add some extra little shadows in. So let's go and put some shadows underneath the arms. I'm thinking around the side here. So I'm going to go for a little line across there. Shade in the underside of the branch here. Do the same kind of thing over on that side, look. If you're using colours, then you don't need to do that outline first. You can just go straight in with the colour. That looks okay. Let's leave it like that. Let's go and put some shadows up in here as well. So there's two places going to put the shadows in. One is on the inside leaves, or the inside petals, just there, those ones at the top. And then on the right hand side, look, let's put in some shadows there. So roughly outlining where you want the shadow to live and then throwing the shadow in, nice and easy like that. Let's get into these eyes. Let's add a little bit more detail to the eyes, make them look like they're feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. Little triangle coming up there, look how it's just pointing inwards. Real skinny little triangle. But what a difference it makes to the emotion of that character. I always like putting little bags under the eyes, so I'm going to do that with my thin pen as well. This is called a floater, because it doesn't actually touch any other line, it just kind of floats there. You still want to double line it though, make it nice and wonky in the middle, fat in the middle, and then a little bit flicked off towards the edges. Bottom lip, let's go and put a bottom lip in as well with our thin pen. Fat and chunky in the middle, flicked off at the edges. That's looking great. I really like how this one's coming along. Let's go back to our Sharpie. We've got 5 minutes left. Let's go back to our Sharpie and we'll really start bringing this character alive. What we're going to do now is we're going to throw in loads of spikes. It's the last main feature of our character before we then just go and have a little bit of fun with it. Going to throw in some little spikes. So for example, let's start up here. Look. We're just going to use a technique I call flicking off. So just flick the pen off a few times. Let's do something symmetrical over there. And just keep working your way down. So let's put one in here now. Leave a little gap, put another one in. I always like putting them underneath the armpits because it looks like a hairy armpit. Keep on working your way down. Keep it random as well. Don't do them all the same length. Do some tall ones. Do some long ones, do some short ones, have them pointing out in different directions. Keep your pen upright, it gives you the nicest possible flick. And when you're flicking off, what you're trying to do is get a nice thin tapered end to your line. Awesome stuff. That's good around the outside edge. Just carry on going around the outside edge underneath the arms and things like that. Just throw these little lines in. Maybe on the top of these little fingers. Just 3 or 4, just keep it nice and simple over there on the top of the thumb. What about something on the inside there? Just go crazy with it. Let's go and do the other side. Chucking these in wherever we can. Try to have a little bit of uniformity to all the gaps that you leave in there. That's looking great though. Okay, a couple more spikes. Let's go and move on to the inside really quickly. Let's go and put some in here. Look. This time they're in more of a star shape, so they're going all the way around. Just start in that center, flick around and find out. Remember to try and keep it random, so you can have some long bits and some short bits. Keep on going with that till you're happy and you've got enough bits in there. Right, this is looking great. Let's go and grab our fine line. Let's go and have a little bit of fun with this now. We're going to do some bits like just join that line, a little broken line up there. Just there as well, a little broken line that comes down to there. What else can we do? Let's add some little patches in to our cactus, make it look a little bit patchier. So just draw a little circle, put some little lines in it. I always like going around with quote marks, just anywhere on there, just going to throw in some quote marks. Don't think about it too much, little hashtags, make it look a bit more beaten up, especially these rocks. These rocks would look great with hashtags and quote marks. That's looking great. Back in with a Sharpie, let's finish this piece off. Let's go and put some extra little rocks kind of just floating around here. Maybe a bit of a horizon going on there. What about some little clouds in the sky? Our finishing point. 30 seconds to go, so just last little bits. You know me, I always like to put a little fly in as well, so let's put a few flies in. And a drop shadow. Whoa, worst drop shadow I've ever done. Pen is running out as well, which is fantastic. And that is it. 15 minutes. Little cheeky extra bit in there. So there you go. That is our 15-minute doodle. Have a little go yourself. See how you get on with doing your own version of it. Post it online. Go and find me on Facebook, anywhere. Look for the Korp Academy. Post it online. Use the hashtag doodlewithkorp so I can find it, because I love to see what you've drawn. Nice one. Right, well done, everybody. Thank you very much for taking part. I'll see you again next week in another 15-minute doodle challenge.